Nuclear Weapons, presented by Abby Schmidt. A nuclear weapon is a bomb or missile that uses nuclear energy to cause an explosion. Nuclear weapons, the history. A nuclear weapon has not been detonated in war since 1945. There have been less than a handful of nuclear tests during the past decade. Representatives of the United States, Soviet Union, and Great Britain signed the Limited Nuclear Test Ban Treaty on August 5, 1963. The treaty prohibited the testing of nuclear weapons in outer space, underwater, or in the atmosphere. The biggest issue of the treaty was verification of compliance and agreeing to establish inspection systems. The Soviet Union proposed an international control system, but the United States was suspicious and stood in strong opposition to any amendment that made the treaty comprehensive. Nuclear weapons, the problem it poses. Nuclear weapons may be used against a nation as an instrument of war or terror. Nuclear weapons can create mass destruction and hysteria throughout a nation. The use of nuclear weapons usually cannot be localized, meaning that many innocent lives will be taken over a broad range of land. In the event of a nuclear weapon being used, innocent bystanders will probably not be prepared. This means there will be no time for vaccinations, masks, antidotes, protective clothing, quarantines, or small-scale evacuations to be used, resulting in a large number of deaths. Atomic bombings of the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan were conducted by the U.S. during the final stages of World War II in 1945. The effects were long-standing and devastating. More than 180,000 people were killed. The two cities became home to cancers, premature births, and malformed babies due to radiation. The Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons was opened for signature on September 20, 2017. This treaty prohibits the use, the threat of use, development, production, manufacturing, possession, stockpiling, transfer, stationing, and installment of nuclear weapons or assistance with any prohibited activities. It requires states parties to declare if they once had or currently have nuclear weapons and if there are nuclear weapons on their territory. It requires state parties that currently have nuclear weapons to destroy them and those that have nuclear weapons on their territory to remove them. State parties must also provide victim assistance to those impacted by nuclear weapon use and testing and environmental remediation assistance to areas impacted by nuclear weapon use and testing. To date, worldwide, 69 signatory states and 19 state parties have signed and ratified the treaty. Russia is one of the main and biggest offenders. Russia deployed a new cruise missile that American officials say violates a landmark arms control treaty. Russia began testing the cruise missile as early as 2008. The missile program has been a major concern to the United States. Currently, nothing has changed as the U.S. and NATO are giving Russia a 60-day deadline to comply with the treaty. Although nuclear weapons are not only a modern-day issue, the problem has grown increasingly stronger. As nuclear weapon knowledge grows, the manufacturing of nuclear weapons increases. The threat today is said to be greater than during the Cold War. There have been many problems with enforcing these treaties. Iran has admitted to developing a uranium enrichment program. Due to clear violations, the IAEA mandated only that Iran suspend uranium enrichment and allow stricter inspections. Iran has made little to no steps towards compliance, with no real sanctions imposed. This not only discredits the IAEA, it also shows they are not cracking down. There is no clear and objective method for determining non-compliance. The lack of consensus in the Security Council delays sanctions being able to be imposed. So the question is posed, are we getting better or are we getting worse in terms of nuclear weapons? The use and manufacturing of nuclear weapons seems to be increasingly getting worse as time goes on. Treaties banning the usage and manufacturing of nuclear weapons are unable to be enforced. Sites responsible for manufacturing nuclear weapons are not inspected properly or controlled as they should be. Many countries are not in compliance and have not signed or have withdrawn. Lack of agreement from all parties stands at the forefront of promoting the usage of nuclear weapons.